Ladies and gentlemen, in my almost 40-year career, I've introduced some of the greatest entertainers in history. I can truthfully tell you, the family that you're about to see and hear, God must love very much because He gave every one of them a very special talent. Ladies and gentlemen, the Isaacs.
The land of Galilee, down by the sea that's so deep, my Lord, said Simon, if you love me, then go and feed my sheep. Go and feed my sheep. Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to go to heaven when you die? Now if you walk the narrow way, you know sometimes a lamb will stray. The shepherd now on heaven's throne and need to lead them. We can lead them home. Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to go to heaven when you die? Now Jesus was a son of God. He died upon that cruel cross. He died for you. He died for me, that we might not be lost. Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to go to heaven when you die? Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to be a shepherd for the good God Almighty? Don't you want to go to heaven when you die?
Once I had a precious mother with whom I love with tender care. Now she's gone, I'll never see her till that land that's bright and fair. Off that thing, of that occasion, when they told me she would die, beside her, not let her see me cry. My mother's gone, but not forgotten. Memory lies deep in my heart. Although sometimes I'm all I tremble and I see her face shine through the dark. Off that thing, of that occasion, when they told me she would die, let me find, stay close beside her, I'll let her see me cry. Off that thing, of that occasion.
someone who is hurting? How can I love someone who is my enemy? Can I just overlook it and let the healing begin? It's unlike me, but it's just a love. From the cross he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. When he said it is finished, he made that possible for you. Calvary's where the hatred ends and forgiveness begins. It's unlike me, but it's just love. How can I forgive the past, just start all over? How can I forget my scars and pour in the myrrh? Is it really likely to make my enemy my friend? It's unlike me, but it's just like him. From the cross he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. When he said it is finished, he made that possible for you. Calvary's where the hatred ends and forgiveness begins. It's unlike me, but it's just like him. Calvary's where the hatred ends and forgiveness begins. It's unlike me, but it's just like him.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to our new recording and video. We're so proud to have you folks with us today. We're just honored to have you and hope we can sing something that'll bless your heart. Right now, we'd kind of like to get down into the bluegrass part of it and do you a good bluegrass number. One goes like this. One morning in Jerusalem, about the break of dawn, a great trial was in session. They were trying to bless it, Lord. They scorned him and they mocked him. They made him carry the cross. On top of Calvary's mountain, they crucified our Lord. For the cry,
Jesus cried from the cross,
forgive him, blessed Father. He cried upon the cross. For the cry,
Jesus cried from the cross.
the Son of God was dying to save the world from wrong. St. Peter, he denied him at that awful trial that night. He said he never knew him. It was an awful sight. He looked upon St. Peter with eyes of perfect love. St. Peter's heart was broken. He prayed to God above for the cry.
Jesus cried from the cross,
Forgive him, blessed Father. He cried upon the cross.
Everybody's trying to treat you friendly, yet you know. It's taken some time for me to uncover the purpose He has in my life. Don't know where it will take me, but I know where I've been, and I know it feels so right. I got peace like a river flowing deep in my life. I got peace like a river, and you know it feels so right. I got peace. Well, I am not one who can move high mountains or part the big Red Sea, nor can I walk on the water like Peter or Jesus, or set a lame man free. Well, it's all I can do some days to get through the valleys near below. Have you ever been there? I don't feel I deserve a mansion in heaven, but it would please me so. I got peace like a river flowing deep in my life. I got peace like a river, and you know it feels so right. Help me out like this. I got That's good. Can you do two hands? I got peace like a river, and it feels so right. I got peace.
Thank you. I'm glad tonight that I know that peace that comes from Jesus. That peace like a river that flows from Him to me, to us. And I thank Him tonight for all that He's done for me. I praise Him because a long time ago, I didn't know Him. And many times in this life, in the hustle and bustle that we go through, we do the things that we're supposed to do, and even being a Christian, we do the same. But sometimes I pray, Lord, shake my soul. Just put that burning fire back in my spirit and remind me of where you brought me from and where I could have been if it hadn't been for you. Listen to this beautiful song.
All the things that I love and hold dear to my heart, they're just borrowed, they're not mine at all. Jesus only let me use them to brighten my life. So remind me, dear Lord. Roll back the curtain of memory now and then. Show me where you brought and you must forget. So remind me, dear Lord. Nothing good have I done to deserve God's own Son. I'm not worthy the scars in his hands. Yet he chose the road to Calvary that I might be saved. So remind me, dear Lord. Roll back the curtain of memory now and then. Show me where you brought me from and where I could have been. Dear Lord, you know I'm human, and you must forget. So remind me, dear Lord. So remind me, dear Lord.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very kind of you folks. And we think that's a great song written by Dottie Rambo, I believe. And right now I'd like to do a song that I wrote 4 or 5 years ago and had the honor of recording this with one of my bluegrass heroes that I've looked up to down through the years. It taught me to play the type of music that I play, and I would have probably never been playing this type of music if it hadn't been for the Stanley Brothers. And I worked with Ralph a little in 1969. We recorded this project together. It was nominated for a Grammy Award this year. And I'd like to dedicate this to somebody that may have made a mistake and feel like that you're not worthy of the grace of God, friend. But Jesus said, let the one without sin cast the first stone. One by one, her accusers were gone. Soon she was standing with Jesus alone. He said, go thy way and sin no more, lest something worse come in through your door. This woman one time, she fell by the way. They brought her to Jesus to stone her that day. He rode on the ground. Yes, he rode on the ground. When her sins were made known. When her sins were made known. Let the one without sin cast the first stone. That's fallen today, but there's mercy for you if you take time to pray. Call on Jesus now, believe in your heart, and turn from your sins, my friend, and make a new start. sins were made known.
When her sins were made known,
Let the one without sin cast the first stone. This woman one time, she fell by the way. They brought her to Jesus to stone her that day. He rolled on the ground
yes, he rolled down the ground.
when her sins were made known.
When her sins were made known,
Let the one without sin cast the first stone. Jesus rode on the ground
Jesus rolled down the ground.
when her sins were made known.
When her sins were made known,
Let the one without sin cast the first stone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The next song that we're going to do is a song that I really feel is really needed in the day that we're living in. You know, as Christians, when we first find Jesus Christ, it seems like we want to run to the highest mountain peak and shout it out and tell everybody how great it feels to be a Christian. And you know, after a few days and a few trials, it seems like we get a little further from God than we meant to and than we should. And you know, I always kind of like to compare it to a cup of coffee. And when you first pour a cup of coffee, it sure is hot and it sure tastes good. But then after you set it down for a few minutes and it gets cold, then it's not quite as good anymore. But you know, as Christians, we need to try to be that hot cup of coffee. We need to stay as close to the fire as we can. And that's why I like this song, because it reminds me in my daily walk with Jesus, it's important to serve him honestly.
there's no use trying to hide it from your eyes. There's no need in wearing a disguise.
For you see in me a lot of Pharisee. Now I'm trying to be as honest as I can.
And I'll go down 7 times, a tree I'll even climb. I'll even tear the roof off, Lord, just to get to you. And I'll get down on my knees at the foot of Calvary and declare so openly, this time, Lord, I'll serve you honestly.
I always lived a life with just pretend, a plastic heart inside with no peace within. Oh, but now I've stepped out from the door. Dear Lord, I've opened up my heart, and I'm revealing all of my secrets in sin. And I'll go down 7 times, a tree I'll even climb, like Zacchaeus, and I'll even tear the roof off,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Great job, kids. That's wonderful. This is a moment I've been looking forward to for a long time. I think this gentleman that I'm going to bring out is one of the nicest gentlemen that I've ever met in my entire life. And what a legend. He's been my hero since 1956. He cut his first hit song, the first #1 song. A member at the Grand Ole Opry for 39 years. And what a gentleman. Would you bring him out? The legendary Porter Wagoner.
Thank you so much. This is a song that I recorded with them. I'm very proud of it. I hope that you will enjoy it. It's called Gathering Flowers for the Master's Bouquet. Death is an angel sent down from above, sent for the buds and the flowers we love. Truly 'tis sowed for in heaven's own way. Each soul is a flower in the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay. Gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Loved ones are passing each day and each hour, passing away as the life of a flower. But every bud and each blossom someday will bloom as a flower in the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay. Gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Let us be faithful till life's work is done, blooming with love till the reaper shall come. Then we'll be gathered together for a transplanted to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay. Gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet.
Thank you, Porter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's been a big thrill for me to get to know this wonderful family, and they've really brought me a lot closer to God than I've ever been in my life. The inspiration from this wonderful family. And they all have such a special talent. The beautiful girl, Sonia, wrote this song, the title song from one of their great albums. I know you'll enjoy it. Carry Me.
Step by step, I've stumbled through the days, blinded by the sun. How can I stay? Just a drop of cool, refreshing water. I need a touch from you. Take my hand. these tears that fill my eyes forever. Carry me up to my home of rest. Troubled waters are splashing all around me, and surely in a moment I will run. Wrap your arms around me, for love I'm seeking, and you're my only hope. I need you now to carry me across the raging waters. Hold your hurting child to your breast. Dry these tears that fill my eyes forever. Carry me up to my home of rest. For I know that in your arms I will find safety, and there's nothing of this old world that can ever harm me. There's nothing. Through the darkness always lead me, Lord. I'm so lost without your love. Help me make it to my home above. Carry me up through the clouds to glory. Hold me in your arms, I need to rest. Dry these tears that fill my eyes forever. Carry me up to my home of rest. What a song. Carry me up to my home of rest.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right now we're going to play you an instrumental. It's a tune that I wrote in honor of my father. My father was a preacher among many other trades, and one of his trades were blacksmith, and I wrote this instrumental and call it Father's Blacksmith. And to accompany us on this tune, I've invited another hero bluegrass musician of mine to come and be on our video. And this man started playing with the Stanley Brothers back in the late 50s, I believe it was. Recorded a lot of records with them. Worked several years with Jimmy Martin's. Recorded a lot of records with Jimmy Martin. And worked 7 years with Hank Williams Jr. Recorded 10 albums with him and several videos. And we're just obliged to have him with us on our show tonight, or our program, Mr. Vernon Derrick.
Yeah.
Would you make him welcome?
of salvation, my boy, that you've learned from your mother at home. You will find in your satchel a Bible, my boy. It's the book of all others the best. It will help you to live and prepare you to die, and will lead to the gates of the blessed. I gave you to God in your cradle, my boy, and I've taught you the best that I knew. And as long as God's mercy permits me to live, I will never cease praying for you. Hold fast to the right, hold fast to the right, wherever your footsteps may roam. Forsake not the way of salvation, my boy, that you've learned from your mother at home.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to try to do you a song here now that means a whole lot to me. It's called God Sent an Angel. I was troubled in my mind and had reached my darkest time, when my life and my spirit was low. I walked out on the span of a bridge made by man and looked down at the water so cold. I stood shivering there on the edge of despair, knowing well I was going to fall. With the end drawing near, I had no mortal fear, for I had never known him at all. But God sent an angel that only my eyes could see. He was dressed all in white and surrounded by light. Oh, thank God for the love shown to me. For the rest of my days, God will show me the way, since His messenger entered my life. I'm a part of His plan for salvation of man, as I walk in His circle of light. Nevermore will I doubt what my life's all about, and no more will I suffer despair. I've got proof He's alive, for He let me survive, and I know He's made a home for me there. 'Cause God sent an angel that only my eyes could see. He was dressed all in white and surrounded by light. and surrounded by light. Oh, thank God for the love shown to me.
I need to fix my shingles, need to change my water drain. I need to paint my mailbox, 'cause you can't even read my name. I could use some brand new plumbing. There's a million things I need to do, but I'm gonna move, Lord, I'm just gonna move. Gonna move to a brand new city. No planes and no trains, no cars, no high-tone sound of a siren, no bad news, booze or bars. Gonna leave my windows open, everything's gonna be brand new. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Well, up there I'm gonna have new neighbors. I might even live next door to John the Baptist. I won't hear turn down that gospel music, and I won't have to mow my lawn. I can't wait to see the flowers. Well, there's a million things I plan to do as I plan to move. I'm just gonna move, yeah. Gonna move to a brand new city. No planes and no trains, no cars, no high-tone sound of a siren, no bad news, booze or bars. Gonna leave my windows open, everything's gonna be brand new. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Whoa, yeah. Gonna leave my windows open, everything's gonna be brand new. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Well, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move to a brand new city. No planes and no trains, no cars, no high-tone sound of a siren. There's no bad news, booze or bars. Gonna leave my windows open, everything's gonna be brand new. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Well, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna hands together and help us out. Sounds good. Gonna leave my windows open, everything's gonna be brand new. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Well, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move to a brand new city. No planes and no trains, no cars, no high-tone sound of a siren. There's no bad news, no booze and no bars. Gonna leave my windows open, everything's gonna be brand new. Well, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. Won't be long, well, I'm gonna move.
Thank you so much. That's awful kind of you. That's off of our latest recording called Carry Me, of course. And Sonia, I have a question for you, young lady.
What's that, Daddy?
You said in that song that you wouldn't have to mow the lawn up there. Is that right?
Yeah, hallelujah.
Well, I'd like to say I've never seen you mow it down here either.
Not on the video. You don't have to tell everything you know.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, if things is different when you get to heaven and you do have to mow a lawn, if you don't get a little practice, you'll have to start off with a push mower.
Oh, Lordy. That's all right.
All right. I'll tell you, this next song we're going to do is sung by my son-in-law here, of course, and his wife, my baby. And I think it's one of the finest songs that's ever written. I want you to listen to the words to it. One entitled Lois Valley.
Lord, I don't want to do one thing on my own. Put me where you want me, Lord, where I belong. And give me the strength, Lord, to do thy perfect will. So when I'm in the lowest valley, I can climb the highest hill. Lord, I want to be what you want me to be. Lord, I want to do the things you want me to do. Lord, help me stay in the center of thy will. So when I'm in the lowest valley, I can climb the highest hill.
This world, it gets more wicked every day. People's hearts have grown so cold, forgotten how to pray. But if I live to be 100, I'll keep holding to your hand until you come and take me home to that promised land. Lord, I want to be what you want me to be. Lord, I want to do the things you want me to do. Lord, help me stay in the center of thy will. And when I'm in the lowest valley, I can climb the highest hill. And when I'm in the lowest valley, I can climb the highest hill.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The next song we're going to do is an absolute brand new song. And this will probably be our last song. And I want you to listen real closely to the words of this song. As far as I know, everybody at here is a born-again Christian. But I don't keep the book. But if you're not, you can still relate to this song if you will. And there's never been a greater story ever told than the message of the Lord Jesus Christ. And friends, I guess if I got what I deserved, I'd be in hell today. I stayed drunk for 7 years. My daddy was a holiness preacher in the mountains of Kentucky, a great man. Preached for 58 years. Mother was a wonderful Christian woman. And I strayed away from home, been raised strict like I was, and I thought I'd crossed the grace line. There was no grace for me. I thought the Lord would never save me. And I turned to alcohol and drugs. And for 7 years, I wound up in New York City playing bluegrass music in clubs and places. And for 7 years, I never drawed a sober breath. The devil had me thinking that hell was my eternal home, and would have been if I hadn't accepted the Lord Jesus Christ. And again, I'll say, if I got what I deserved, that's where I'd be. But thank God for His grace, for everything He means to all of us, wherever you may be, watching this video or on the stage or wherever we're at. God didn't only give us salvation, but He promised us a home after a while where there won't be no devil, where there won't be no trouble. And friends, you talk about living in peace. Just look what God gave us when He saved us from hell.
There's a land where I'm going when this life is gone, where we'll not fear the bad news of a loved one passed on, where blind eyes will see and the sick will be well. Oh, look what God gave me when He saved me from hell.
I was an rescue for a beautiful mansion by the river of life, and forever to dwell. All I want was refuge from the fire, but look what God gave me when He saved me from hell. There will not be one cripple in that heavenly place.
Thank you so much.
Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder
Sing it, sweet.
consider the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, and thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Praise God. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Oops, what'd y'all do?
Had to finish my chord.
Let's do the instrumental again.
Could y'all stand to hear that instrumental one more time? We didn't have any monitor on the guitar. I think something's wrong.
Yeah, you're just now getting warmed up.
Y'all wouldn't mind if we do that instrumental one more time, would you?
I don't know. They're trying to kill a pregnant woman.
Yeah, y'all, doesn't Becky look pretty tonight? She was so worried about her belly.
Give us a little more banjo in the front line, please.
Y'all okay? You know what? We're about finished. Not quite, but almost. Y'all say when.
Halfway through.
Isn't this a pretty place?
Come on out.
Y'all know the difference between a banjo and a Harley Davidson motorcycle? You can tune a Harley, but you can't a banjo.
Hey, Vernon.
Amen. You know the difference in a banjo and an onion, John?
Yeah, nobody cries when you chop up a banjo.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Chop up mine, you'll see.